Hello?
Well, I'm Connie Rhodes. I'll be your therapist today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Jeff, and this is my daughter, Madison.
Hi, Jeff and Madison.
Hello.
Well, I'm glad that you've taken the time to come and talk with me. Thought I would just give you an idea of what our session looks like. Does that sound okay?
Okay.
All right. So what I plan to do is we'll just talk for about 30 or 40 minutes about what your situation is. And then I'm going to take a quick break and just kind of leave the room and think about what we've talked about and what you've said, and come back with some feedback, some impressions, possibly some advice if I have some. Does that sound okay to you?
Sounds good.
Okay, great. Well, let's go ahead and get started then. So why don't you give me a little bit of idea about what you'd like to accomplish by coming here today? What would be your goal?
Well, I think our goal, both our goals, is to communicate better and to have a better relationship between each other, because it's just rough a lot of times and we don't communicate very well. So I want to communicate better and have a better relationship, basically.
So better communication. So can you just kind of describe to me maybe a little bit more about what better communication would mean to you?
Well, a lot of times she just won't talk to me, and I think that because probably how the day starts, our day starts off bad a lot of times in the morning. She's late getting up, we're late getting out the door, and so I end up yelling at her to come on, let's go, get out the door, get your stuff, and it's just run, rush, and I get all upset, and she probably gets upset because I'm upset, and then we get to school late, and I'm just, I'm just not happy, and we haven't really talked at all because we've been yelling at each other to come on and get out the door, so so that starts our day off wrong. And then when I pick her up in the afternoons, we're still kind of upset with each other, I guess, and she might not want to talk then a lot of times too after school when I pick her up. So we just don't communicate a lot.
Well, I'm sorry things have not been going that well between you, but hopefully coming and talking about it today, we can maybe come up with some solutions to help. So Madison, as your dad was saying that to you, is this a goal that you would like to achieve, or what would you like to achieve by coming and talking?
I'd like to have, like you said, I'd like to achieve that, like having a better day. I mean, not being so frustrated, that I could get on with the day and do what I need to do without having extra thoughts.
So am I hearing you say that you seem to agree with what your dad is saying? You would like to have a more calm day. Is it that do you want to work on your all's relationship, your communication? Am I hearing that from both of you?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, I think if we can work on that, it would make the day be a lot better day every day.
So Madison, your dad was saying that the day starts out this way often. What do you visualize? I mean, if your day was going better and you were actually communicating better, is there something specifically that you can think of that might make it better? I mean, that you might do differently?
I would probably talk to him more often, and I wouldn't be so, cranky.
So how do you communicate with him now?
I give him the silent treatment most times.
That's true.
And how do you respond to that?
I don't like the silent treatment. That makes me pretty angry when she doesn't want to talk. And
so how do you express that to her?
usually I just get upset and I keep asking her more questions. You know, why aren't you talking to me? What's going on? You know, and just keep on, and so that's probably the wrong thing to do. I probably need to, you know, when I pick her up from school and she doesn't want to talk, I need to probably recognize that, because a lot of times I'm trying to just ask her a question and she doesn't want to say anything, so I take it as she's mad with me or something, but you know, or she's tired, but you know, if she would just tell me maybe, I don't want to talk right now.
Which I have multiple times.
Yes, she has, but
he ignores that comment.
Well,
keeps asking questions.
Yeah, that's true. So I probably need to, when she says I don't want to talk right now, I'm tired, then I just need to stop asking questions and wait till another time to ask questions later on in the day, maybe when she does want to talk, I guess.
Well, Jeff, it sounds like you're already recognizing some things that you might need to change as far as your way of pursuing her to talk, recognizing that you might need to give her a little bit of space sometimes when she's not in the mood. But Madison, do you recognize too that sometimes I'm sure there's times when your dad needs to get a response from you? I mean, when you do feel in the mood to talk to him, is there something that's happened differently? Does he approach you differently that you actually want to talk? Or has your day gone differently?
Depends what kind of mood I'm in. If I'm happy or not.
Describe a happy mood.
I'm not tired.
Well, maybe you've had a good day at maybe tennis or something, or at school. I mean, I don't know. I just, and two, you know, when our morning started off bad, then that just rolls over into the afternoon when I pick her up, and so, a lot of times I don't want to let her drive home. I'm letting her drive sometimes, but I don't let her drive sometimes because she was late that morning, getting up and getting ready and out the door. So, as a punishment, I don't let her drive sometimes. But you know, that doesn't help things sometimes. Then she really doesn't want to talk to me because I'm punishing her in that way. So, but I think if we could resolve some issues maybe in the morning, starting our day, that if she got up early enough and we didn't have to yell 4 or 5 times for her to get up, and she got up and got ready, then we'd have time to get out the door and we could go to school quietly and talk if we wanted to, and just be a nice morning, and then that afternoon would be a good day probably. It wouldn't continue to be bad, I would think.
So what it sounds like I'm hearing is that this kind of seems to be a pattern as far as it seems to start in the morning and then it kind of filters through the day.
I think so.
And you mentioned when you're tired, you don't feel like talking to your dad.
Mhm. Yeah.
So is rest an important thing for you to get enough sleep?
Yeah.
Okay. So so I thought maybe we need to work on changing some of your habits. So if you were to get more rest, how do you think you respond differently to your dad? Do you think you would act any different if you weren't so tired?
I think I'd be more awake, so I might be open to answering questions.
Okay. Well, I would like just to try a little bit of an experiment. Now, that sounds kind of silly, but would you mind closing your eyes for me? And I want you to visualize that a miracle happened last night, okay? And that you two were communicating good, that you're relaxed around each other, you're talking openly, you're doing some fun things together, you're having some good communication. You're having a good relationship between each other. Now open your eyes. And you wake up, as you woke up today, and this miracle happened, how would you know that a miracle happened? What would be different? Can you think of something in particular, Jeff, that you would notice that might be different?
Well, I wouldn't hear any yelling, that's for sure. I wouldn't be
No
yelling.
yelling.
I wouldn't be yelling.
Good.
I wouldn't be yelling at her. She wouldn't be yelling at me, and that would be a great thing. And we would get to school on time. That's how I would know. I would say, and I wouldn't be rushing around the house, and we could actually, talk a little bit in the morning, possibly, about things if we wanted to. So, those kind of things would be great. I mean, that's what kind of day I would like. And then when I pick her up, if she's, wouldn't be tired, then I could talk with her about how her day was, and if there's anything she wanted to tell me, she could just tell me, So, and going out and doing some fun things together, like, she likes to play tennis. I like to play tennis, so going out and playing tennis with each other, that'd be fun. Something fun to do, as a family, and that would be what I'd like to do,
So, Madison, what is it you think you would notice that would be different if things were going better between you two and you were communicating better, you were rested, doing fun things together?
Well, like you said, there wouldn't be any yelling, or at least not as much.
So I'm hearing that there's quite a bit of yelling, especially in the mornings.
That's a lot. I mean, her room's upstairs, so I have to yell to her a lot of times to come on, so so she can hear me.
Okay, yeah, but I can hear you just talking downstairs. Like when Mom is talking to Blake, saying, 2 minutes, I don't have to hear again, 2 minutes, because I can already hear it from downstairs.
Well, I'm sensing that you're how old again, Madison?
15.
15 is an age when you're a teenager, obviously. Trying to get to be more independent, but not there yet. Do you resent your dad from constantly telling you what to do and when to do it?
I guess. Yes.
Well, can you tell me, are there times now when a little bit of this miracle is happening now? Have there been days recently that maybe they started out better and things went smooth?
Yeah, there's been some mornings we've had where she actually got up early and was out the door, and it did go smooth, and I could tell the difference. It's great when you don't have to raise your voice to get them out the door and stuff. And maybe I don't need to, constantly get on her in the morning, because she's old enough now to know that what time school starts and what time she needs to get ready and get out the door. And so, and maybe I just need to back off and not pressure her so much in the morning, and that might be pretty good.
Well, it sounds like there have been maybe a few occasions when things have gone better.
There have been good days. We have had good days and things. When we go out, and I like taking her out with her friends so they can go see a movie or shopping and stuff. And I don't mind doing stuff like that. And those are good days. And we can, seems like she talks a little bit more when she's around her friends and stuff. So, but yeah, there's some things I know I need to work on probably. And like I said, I just want to be able to communicate with her more, and that's where I need to work on my end probably.
So Madison, when that day went as your dad described, and you were already up and getting ready, and things were a little bit more calm, was there something specifically that you did to start the day out that way for yourself?
I woke up earlier by using my multiple alarms.
You have multiple alarms?
Yeah.
What exactly do you mean by that?
Like, I have a time before I wake up, and then when I need to wake up, so I'm alert.
So, are you getting to bed at a decent hour? Do you feel like you get enough sleep?
No.
No.
I feel like she stays up too late sometimes. Maybe watches TV, or I know she has homework, but sometimes I think she could probably go to bed earlier, which would help. And then if she would maybe just set her alarm 5 or 10 minutes earlier, too. I mean, that might be all the difference we need.
Well, I think these are pretty typical problems. I mean, I know in my own home that, you know, it's hard to always get everyone to bed when they need to go to bed. You always have one more thing to do. But sometimes you just maybe come with a time, Madison, that you feel like you really need to be in bed, and if at all possible, stick to that time. And did you say you set your own alarm, right?
Yeah.
So if you set your own alarm, would you get up on your own and nobody has to go up and get you?
Yeah.
Is that what you did on those occasions when y'all did?
Well, we did
start
have
out
good mornings. I think she got up when the alarm went off. That I think so many times she hits the snooze and lays there and doesn't get up until later, and then by then she has to rush, and then I'm rushing to get her out, and that just it blows the day.
So Madison, were you hit the snooze on the day that you actually got up and had plenty of time?
No.
No.
No. Well, that's wonderful. Well, see, there are ways you can do it. And I know it's so tempting to hit that snooze. I do it myself. I think, oh, just 5 more minutes of sleep. But really, I probably was more awake if I just got up the first time the alarm goes off. What do you think? Do you feel more rested when you keep pushing it?
I mean, yes and no, because I want to lay down more, but I don't know, I just want to lay down.
Okay, well, you know, if you guys could get maybe in a better routine and could get more sleep, might give you an incentive to be a little happier in the morning, and that might start off your day. So when you pick her up from school, you're same school, and then if you were to get more rested, do you think you would treat your dad any different?
Yeah, I think I would treat him with more respect.
Well, okay. So when you say the word respect, what do you think you do differently with your dad? What respect? I mean, you talk more to him? Would you be nicer to him? How would you be treating him differently? Do you want to maybe just share that with your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be nicer and talk more.
Well, that's all I expect, is just for you to talk to me when I ask you a question, and you know, even just a yes or a no, but just give me the silent treatment. You know, that's just not good, I don't think, and I wish you would just tell me. I'll try on my part. If you tell me, I'll show you respect. If I ask you something and you say I don't want to talk right now, I'm tired, then I'll show you respect by leaving you alone and trying to give you your space until you're ready to talk later that day or something. So I'll just have to work on that. I'll try my best.
So you had mentioned, Jeff, that when she's giving you a hard time in the mornings, for instance, that you didn't let her drive home from school. I'm assuming, all right, you're 15, so you have your permit?
Yes, she has her learner's permit.
So in a way, it might be an incentive for you to be a little bit more cooperative with your dad. So you might drive. You like to drive?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were to, communicate a little bit better and y'all work together, maybe y'all could do more things that you enjoyed together.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to do more. I think if we communicate better and get along better, I think we could go. I would love to go hit tennis more, or take her out more, or let her drive more. And so if we show each other respect and try to communicate and get along, I think we can do a lot of those things, which would be great. So
I think we just need to come up with a plan. How specifically can you make these changes? As you leave here today, and we're on track to to getting, this issue resolved and your relationship better, your communication better, what can you specifically do different? And then Madison, what do you think you can do differently in the relationship?
Wait, what I could do different?
In order, it takes two people. You can't expect your dad to do all the changing, right?
Right.
And Jeff, you can't expect Madison to change.
No,
I mean, there has to be some give and take. Am I right?
Right.
So if he treats you with more respect and gives you the space sometimes that you need, do you visualize that you'll treat your dad differently, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think it's something that we both have to work on, and I'm older, I'm the dad, so I feel like I should probably bear more of the responsibility probably because I'm the adult. So I feel like I need to be the one that that controls myself and is understanding to her and tries to respect her wishes. And all I ask for is that she give me respect back and try to do what I ask. As far when I ask her questions, I mean, if it's important question she needs to answer, she needs to answer me. I would hope, that I've got to know something. But other than that, just let me know. Don't give me the silent treatment. Just let me know that you don't want to talk. And I think I will try to respect that and follow your wishes. And hopefully when I respect that, then later down, that evening or something, when I do talk to you or you talk to me later, we can have some good conversation, and hopefully you'll be able, won't be as tired. And but I will definitely try.
Well, I would imagine that can be hurtful to you when she ignores you and she's short with you and doesn't really respond to you.
It is. I feel like I've done something wrong sometimes, and I don't know what I've done wrong. All I am is asking her a question, and she won't say anything to me. So.
And do you react to that?
Yeah, a lot of times I get angry.
Do?
I raise my voice and or maybe just keep asking the same question over and over, and then maybe badgering her a little bit. And sometimes I'm just trying to be funny with her, or playful, but most of the time she doesn't like that, I guess. And
well, maybe visualize the times that your communication has been better, or and how you responded differently to her.
Yeah.
I mean, did you ask her the question one time? Sometimes if you ask something over and over again, it's kind of like, okay, didn't you get the hint that I don't want to talk right now?
Yeah.
And she probably thinks that's what you should understand.
Yeah.
Am I right about that, Madison? We all have different styles of communication. And some people can talk all day, where other people just don't want to be bothered for various reasons. But you can't read each other's minds, so you really need to tell each other how you feel and try to respect those boundaries. But maybe work on trying to communicate better. Why don't you tell me about some times that you actually enjoy doing things together? Because it sounds like you need to work on your relationship to improve your communication. So can you tell me about some times that you do now that you enjoy doing together?
Well, I think, I don't mind taking her. I know she likes to shop and go to the movies with her friends, and so I take her out, and she likes to, sometimes she'll like to go get something to eat somewhere or something, and, I try to accommodate that if I can, if I have money to, take her out and get her something, and that seems to cheer her up when we go somewhere where she wants to go, or maybe on the weekend, after church, we'll go out to eat, and she seems in a good mood after church a lot of times when we go eat and sit around as a family around the dinner table.
So during the week, what is your habit when you get home and you're tired and you've had a long day, two of you've had a long day. What's a typical evening for you?
Well, usually she goes to her room, I go to my room, and we get comfortable and probably change our clothes and stuff, and she might be watching TV, I'm watching TV, and she's getting something to eat, and I'm getting something to eat. And we don't really have together time as far as sitting down and eating and talking. So, and she's got homework, and usually I want her just rest. So it's pretty.
Is that what you prefer, or would you like for it to be different, Madison? I mean, do you prefer going up to your room and not coming out and just coming out when you need to, or?
I like it that way.
I think she likes her own time because I think she likes to rest, and I like to rest too. I really don't mind it, but so much. But it seems like when we do get around the table or go out to eat, we do communicate better, and as we're sitting there eating and
so
stuff.
after church, you mentioned that's when you usually have at least one day when you actually eat a meal together.
Yeah.
So during the week time, you normally don't do that.
Not much.
Right.
Every once in a while we'll eat, on the couch. But everybody's doing their own thing, and so it's just hard to sit down and eat as a family.
Well, it sounds like maybe we need to recreate those days like after church. Maybe just try a little bit. Maybe one day a week, one evening a week, try to set aside as a family night and do something fun, or something that you can interact together, have a meal together, watch a movie together, something that you actually are spending some quality time together. So what would you think about that, Madison? Is that something you think you'd like to try?
Yeah, I would, I guess. Yep.
Do you think you would respond differently to your dad if y'all actually spent some quality time together instead of yelling? You're actually enduring to be around each other?
Probably.
Probably.
I hope.
Well, that's a start. I mean, you're looking at the options. You're at least you're considering that you can change some of your habits. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, we can change some things. I mean, we can try. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I mean, to improve our communication and relationship, and like I said, sitting around the dinner table more. Watching a movie together more. I know that's good for us. I believe.
Well, I think you're all on the road to improve your relationship, and I think by just coming here and talking openly about it takes a lot of courage, in my opinion. I'm sure, Madison, this is not a comfortable thing to talk about, and it was a big decision on your part to come and see if we can figure out what to do to help. But I think you're already doing some of these things. You just need to do more of them. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Well, we're getting to the time where I'm going to be taking my break. I'm going to step away for just a few minutes and kind of reflect on, as I explained at the beginning of the session, I'm going to reflect on, what we've talked about, maybe be able to come back with some, suggestions, some recommendations. But as I'm gone, I just have a request for you. If you can spend this time just reflecting on what we talked about and see if you can think of any more suggestions about how you can improve your relationship and your communication, then we can discuss it again before we end our session. Is that okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, I'll be back in just a few minutes.
Okay.